Jay Revere is building it. Dave Brown is the man with the money behind the whole project. And he gave Revere the best 200 acres he could have out of 2,200 acres. The first 9 is in the final stage now of shaping the greens and planning and putting the water system in. And I would say by September, we should be able to play the first 9.
The 13th hole, when it's completed, is going to be an island. Is that
Yes.
going to discourage or encourage some of the amateurs?
No, it's going to be the largest green on the course. It's not that long a hole. And I would say that if I had to pin out anything about the golf course, I'd say it's a good second shot golf course in that it requires pretty good irons, not long, 5 irons, 7 irons, but they must be accurate. This is the way golf used to be years ago. It used to be holes that shots that everybody could reach, but you had to hit a good shot.
I find that the Tax Research Association agrees with me rather than with the gentleman that spoke earlier, and I'd like to just quote 1 or 2 little paragraphs here. It says on page 4, the second paragraph from the bottom, it says, in July 1970, the Board of Directors refunded all of those bonds and shortened the maturities of the bonds and changed the call option dates to April 1, 1985. The interest rates were not changed. The refunding was not carried out in the usual manner. That is, the refunding bonds were not offered in the open market, but the refunding was accomplished by an exchange of securities with the present bondholders.
Some errors in this report, which I'll be happy to point out if we want to go into it.
I think you will have to point out the errors in the report because the figures indicate otherwise. And if you look at the point referring to the cost per capita...
This is where the error occurs. The computation on the per capita cost of ad valorem taxes in Houston is before debt service. And they have made the computation on per capita income in the water districts after debt service. They have also disregarded all of the other sources of income other than the ad valorem tax. And this is totally in error.
Well, I think when you want to disagree with the Tax Research Association and with the other groups, these figures are based on the actual audits of their books. They're based upon the reports of the Municipal Advisory Council of Texas.
And the error is self-evident. They have used 2 different methods to arrive at the per capita income. One after debt service when it serves their purpose, the other before debt service when it serves their purpose. Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Any questions by anyone else of Mr. Castillo?
Chris, on Saturday you strike the set and go away. How are you going to feel when that happens? We're going to be sad. I can't lie about that, because a lot of our kids have grown up here, and we've been here for approximately 4 years. So it's going to be sad time when we do our last production. But by the same token, it's kind of like graduation from high school, where you're sad that that part of your life is over, but we're also looking forward to what we're going to be doing with such enthusiasm and everything that we're going to be glad to. So
You're going to
it's
move
mixed.
into some temporary quarters on West Park for the summer?
Right. We're going to hold our classes on West Park and Hillcroft for the summer, and then this summer we're going to be building our very own building, which that's the reason why we're glad.
In the 4 odd years that you've been here, how many kids have you put across this stage? How many have you had in classes, would you say?
Well, let's see. I would guess that since Studio 7 has been going on, probably about 2,000 people. Now, not just kids, because,
Yeah.
we have both children, teen, and adult classes. But I would guess that about 2,000 people have gone through our work here.
You have older people who come here, too. Why does... You told me you had a 70-year-old lady who came to class.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Obviously, that seems kind of strange. Why would a 70-year-old person want
Want to come
acting
to acting
classes?
class at 70 years old. Okay, she was widowed, and like she told me when she walked in, Ron, she was so darling. She said, I've joined all the bridge clubs, and I've joined all of the garden clubs, and she said, they just don't interest me. All my life, I wanted to be an actress. And she said, now I've got time.
Yeah.
So she came out here and worked and was just a darling. Everybody loved her to death. She came 2 nights a week and did some shows. And she said that, it gave her something she had always wanted to do. And she had been a wife and a mother and a grandmother and the whole thing, and had never had time to before. We try to give a kid confidence. We figure that, they can lose their money, they can lose their job, they can lose a lot of things. A woman can lose her beauty, a man can lose his hair,
Please don't say that.
That's just something I
It's just
threw in.
something that came to you, sure.
But you can't lose your self-confidence if it's built up when you're children, when kids are small. I have seen, for instance, at our auditions, 8 and 9-year-old kids walk in. Now auditions, you know it, I know it. These things are rough on anyone, be it child or adult or whomever. But I've seen our little 8 and 9-year-old kids walk in here, wait very quietly until they're called, take their music, go up, hand it to Jim Livingood, our piano player, and walk up on this stage, and all by themselves do a beautiful audition. Maybe those little voices will crack a little. They might even they might get the wrong key and have to start over. And if they do, it's, could I start that again, please? And they go right on. This is the beautiful part about what we're doing. The kids go from being kids into being teenagers with a great deal more of what it takes to look this old world in the eye every morning.